everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Resident Rulebreakers. My name is Kayla.
And I'm Camille.
And on today's podcast, we're going to be discussing episode 320, the season 3 finale, called Burn It All Down. And it was written by Tiana, Chris, and Daniela.
Yep.
I just want to give credit to them.
We should say Dr. Daniela Love.
Yeah, Daniela is a doctor. She's a real doctor, and she's been working on the front lines of the coronavirus.
You might have seen her on some local news.
Yep. Yep. So there's that. And before we get into our deep dive on the season 3 finale, I just want to mention again, obviously productions are going to be stalled for foreseeable future for any type of filming, for anything. But for the state of Georgia, the governor reopened all non-essential businesses except for bars and nightclubs.
Wait, what does he have against bars and nightclubs?
I'm guessing there's too many people. I don't get it. If you're going to a hair salon, the hairdresser has to literally touch your head.
I mean, if you're opening all non-essential businesses, why single out those two?
I seriously, I don't understand. But in the state of Georgia, the cases are still continuing to climb. The state actually hit their peak on the 7th, but unfortunately, at least according to CNN, but I'm still seeing a climb in cases and deaths. As of start of recording of this podcast, there were 23,401 cases in Georgia and 912 deaths.
Mm.
And when he announced his reopening, he says, in the same way that we carefully closed all the businesses and urged operations to end to mitigate the virus's spread, today we are announcing plans to incrementally and safely reopen sectors of the economy. I don't understand it. The guidelines suggest Georgia shouldn't have even done this till June the 15th. But the Atlanta mayor, we're going to try to make it as close to the show as possible, since they film in Atlanta and the show's based in Atlanta. I will give some source to this. The Atlanta mayor, her name's Keisha Lance Bottoms. She disagrees with what the governor is doing, and she says, I understand the governor wants the economy to get moving again, but the economy is something that concerns those who are amongst the living. So she's like, you can't really contribute to the economy if you're dead. And that's from CBS, so that close.
Well, it is true.
It's
what she
true.
says is true.
It's true.
You can't you can't be making money while you die.
No. So I'm just trying to put it into perspective of terms of where they film and everything. So usually, I mean, we're going to talk about the still pending renewal in just a moment, but usually they start filming again in July. I doubt that's going to happen.
I
doubt.
I have a feeling that they have started writing for season 4. I could try and ask Amy to be sure, but writing episodes can be done
over Zoom.
Over Zoom or something. Yeah, you don't have to see the person face to face kind of thing to bounce off ideas. But
I mean, that's what we're doing. We're literally over a internet call recording this. So you don't have to see the person to write.
Yeah.
So, but like I said last week, if everything doesn't get out of hand really bad, maybe once we get renewed, January 2021, that's my hope.
Yeah, I wonder what they're going to do, though, with, the fall season. It's are they just going to skip that and have an extra short season for season 4 or something for all the shows? Because if they're going to make all the shows we usually premiere in September start in January, which is a mid-season date, would that mean that all the shows would be like 12 episodes or something that season?
I don't know, but these are questions we need to ask Amy.
I know. I want to interview her for the podcast, but I also want to wait till like the renewal announcement is made so that we can like also ask about plans for season 4, what's going to happen, etc. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And like we just said, renewal is still pending, but I do have some positive news on that front. TV Line, who are very reliable in reporting their stuff, at least from what I've been able to see, they have a poll for all the shows that are may or may not be renewed kind of thing. They're called the bubble shows. And The Resident was at number 3, and it was a fan-voted poll. But their statistics suggest that shows that go into the top 5 of this poll every year get renewed. So, I don't know what to say about that, but that makes me a little bit more optimistic.
Hopeful.
So there's that. We're still looking. We look every day to see, is it on TV Line? Is it on Fox's stuff? Did Fox post it to the Resident socials? Anything. So there's that. Last week we did announce Glenn's birthday, but I want to mention it again. It was April 24th, and he turned 61. So
happy birthday, Glenn!
Yep, happy birthday, Glenn.
It's funny, though, because I've been watching, obviously, a lot of shows on Netflix and Hulu and stuff. And I see him on a lot of shows, like, just doing, like, one episode bit. Like, I saw him play some kind of sheriff on Criminal Minds. I was like, whoa, that's Glenn.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff.
So. Yeah, he does a lot of guest starring roles.
Mm-hmm. Before we dive into the episode, I just want to thank everyone. Nurses, doctors, anyone, healthcare worker, firefighters, if you're a first responder, EMTs, whatever. If you're out there fighting the coronavirus or trying to find a cure for this thing, thank you. Thank you for helping the people who need it the most right now.
And also any essential workers.
Yes.
Like McDonald's, KFC.
Yes, restaurant workers.
Pretty much any food place. Thank you for feeding us while we're doing quarantining.
See, here's the thing.
Uber drivers also. Uber Eats drivers.
Truck drivers who are supplying our food to the grocery stores. Grocery store workers.
Yeah. But please, don't inject yourself. Don't inhale. Don't do anything with disinfectants.
Disinfectants will kill you.
Yes. They're meant to, like, clean the bathroom. They're meant to, scrub the toilet and stuff, not to inhale or inject or anything. But yeah, just don't, like, public service announcement, don't do that.
Yeah.
Please. Don't.
Please take the coronavirus seriously. That's all we have to ask of you. Stay safe. Burn It All Down, which was the episode title for the season 3 finale. It was not supposed to be the season finale.
No.
So we had a lot of questions in the group when it aired. And
yeah, they were all like, it doesn't feel like a season finale. Well, it wasn't supposed to be a season finale.
The virus shut down production back in March.
Yeah.
And 3 episodes shy of finishing the season. Canada Aris, which is the fungus that they have in the episode, or across the last couple episodes.
Yep.
It's a fungus. It's not a virus. I want to make that clear.
Yeah, it's like Devon was saying in the episode. It's not airborne, which is what we also emphasized last week. I think
Yes.
it can be a couple. I don't remember, but that it was not airborne. The only people that were really in danger of it was the ones that were in contact with her equipment, which sadly it was not.
Yes.
Kit's son-in-law.
So, but they did it right, because the CDC article, which you referenced last week, I did read it, and it references that this fungus often presents as a multi-drug resistant strain, which is exactly what this was.
Yep.
So there's that. But I think the whole thing, and we mentioned this last week, was Devon was to try to differentiate everything, to make people aware of everything. And the scene was added in the last moment as well. That was told by Tim Good, who is one of the ADs of the show.
Editors, too.
Yep, and the editor. So, by the way, I still think Nolan's a jerk. So.
Who is a jerk?
Nolan, the guy that came in, the doctor that Devon tells.
Oh, yeah.
Total jerk.
The actor's name is Michael Hogan, I believe.
Yes, it is. So there's that. We're going to move on to Derek, because that's a multiple episode arc here. But with Derek, you feel for Kit, because that's her son-in-law.
Yep.
And she's, she obviously really cares for him, some mother-in-laws could care less about this one. She really cares about this guy, because her daughter really loves him. And of course, like she mentioned, this is the father of my grandchild. I have to care.
I felt like Cain should be worried about Kit, because Kit looked like she was about to kill him.
Well, there's a quote by Dr. Bell in the episode, and it says,
"Oh yeah, that's my favorite one." I took note of that. It was like, hold on, let me pull it up. It says, he said, like, I'm here to take what is it? Hold on.
I have a quote that says, "If this man comes out of this surgery with so much as a poorly executed closing stitch, Kit Voss is going to spend the rest of her life ruining yours."
Yes, exactly. That is so funny. And that's why Belle went into the operating room, because I have a feeling that it's to protect Cain as much as it is to protect Derek, especially considering Kit is there watching his every move.
Mm-hmm. But, the perk of it all is that the chemo was working. Yeah. And then he gets Canadoris.
Yeah,
poor Derek.
They took him off the vent, the infected vent, and then they found out he was blind and stuff. It's just sad.
Yeah, and then the needle in the eye with the antifungal. I'm just sitting there. I don't care if I'm blind. I don't care what. I don't care if it's numb.
Nobody is coming near my eye with a needle. No, we're good.
No,
I'll deal with being blind. No. But see, here's the thing, though. I probably would freak out more because I would see the needle coming close to my eye. But since I'm blind, I won't see it, so I wouldn't know, like, it's coming close. So don't tell me you're coming closer. Don't touch me. Just drop it there or whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I do. But, you see the look on Devon's face when he puts two and two together about the event. And it's like a light bulb went off, and they all realize what happened.
Yep.
And, the episode's title literally comes from a quote from Kit. And she says, "I'd burn it all down if I could."
Yep, talking about Red Rock.
Mm-hmm. Because it's obviously covered up from Red Rock. Kim told Cain to not tell anybody.
Yep.
But Cain did try to get them to disinfect it. We can't put all this on Cain. So.
No.
We can't.
No. I for the first time in this season, I really felt for Cain. Like, I actually saw a good guy. Like, for the first time in all season, there was a good guy under all that arrogant butthole. You know what I mean?
But, we're talking about the surgery, Cain is the only doctor in that hospital who can do this surgery, really?
Which, you mean the one for the Candida auris, or the one who, for his ex-girlfriend? Because
For the Candida auris, for Derek.
Well, maybe he was the only one that Kit would trust because he's the best and he's the head of neurosurgeon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you would want you may hate the guy, but you can't deny that he is the best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure, though, that somebody else could have done Justine's surgery, but
Cain had to let his ego.
Well, not just that, I wouldn't say ego, but more because he cares about me. He wouldn't trust, just like Kit would trust another neurosurgeon to do her son-in-law surgery. He would trust another neurosurgeon to do her surgery. You know what I mean?
I do think he was a little too personally attached, though.
I agree. There's a reason why doctors should take care of their family members, but also at the same time, she wasn't technically a family member, so.
But I loved how Belle was trying to calm Kit through all of this.
I know.
I'm like, we need them together now.
God. Minotaur and Belle and Kit. What's their boss? What's their ship
I think
name?
their ship name is Kitdoff.
I don't like that.
Yeah, that's the only one I've seen. So
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
I like Boss better. BOSS. So it'd be Belle, B from Belle, and Boss from Kit Boss. So it'd be like Team Boss. I don't like Kitdoff. Kitdoff just sounds, I don't know, sounds sort of like one of Santa's reindeers.
Yeah.
What? It's the truth.
Well, but there's a scene, and we're gonna get into the Cain's dilemma in a minute.
Yeah.
But the scene where Kit confronts Cain over Derek, I think that scene right there should give Jane Leeves an Emmy nomination. Just the way she acted it out, and it was just like, oh my god. Like, just the emotion, yeah. Like, the acting from Jane and Morris in this episode. Yeah. Jane and Morris in this episode, like, if one of them doesn't get an Emmy nomination for this, I will be very disappointed.
Yeah. I like Morris. I've always been a fan of Morris's acting.
Now we're going to move on to Justine, who is Cain's ex-girlfriend. And, like,
yep.
I think they really should have brought Cain's past back in earlier
I know. Season. Maybe
like,
I would have been in, like, the last 3 episodes. I want to know who Katie is.
Yes.
Is that his sister? Could that be his sister?
I don't know. I don't know who she is. We need to know who Katie is.
Did we even know that he had played football before, or that he was a quarterback? I mean, like, whoa.
None of this, all this information dropped in one episode.
I know. And then, like, done. I'm like, wait, what? Yeah. Justine said that he was actually, like, he changed after his football injury because I guess
he had plans to play football with us, and he had to like find a new direction that it was no longer involving football, and he changed in that sense from being this guy who she loved or whatever, just this hard ass that she didn't recognize anymore.
It would obviously, I mean, it's obviously devastating. I mean, he had plans to go to the NFL, and then all of a sudden it's, ripped away. So, yeah, I could see where that definitely could change you. But Justine comes in with an infected tooth because of a stuck popcorn kernel.
Yeah.
And I want to say something because I have experience working in a movie theater for 2.5 years that I will never eat popcorn again.
You say that while I'm looking at a popcorn bag and debating on popping some popcorn and wondering if you'd be able to hear me crunch and munch on popcorn.
But no, after cleaning popcorn machines and washing it out of my uniform for 2.5 years, I will never eat popcorn again. So there's that. But no, I think it was just a warning that, if you have an infected tooth, you'll get it checked. Obviously, you can't do that right now because you can't go to the dentist. But, you know, in normal times, you go to the dentist, get that checked. Don't let it become an infection that goes to your brain.
But you don't think to yourself that, like, oh, this kernel is going to, like, lead to an infection or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not normally...
It's not a normal thing. It's gotta be. I don't know what the odds are of this happening, but it can't be, a normal thing.
Yeah, I mean, I've had food stuck in my mouth, stuck in my throat all the time, and never had a brain infection involved.
Nope. I love the line where Devin and Nick are talking to each other about Cain. I love how intrigued they were once she...
My favorite is Devon when Nick was saying, "Oh, he has a mom," and Devon was like, "Well, he didn't come out of Satan's brain or whatever."
Yeah, it made me laugh. But it was one of the sneak peeks, and I was just like, "Oh my god, this is hilarious!" So
I swear the writers know like what most of the fans think about each character.
I mean, they have to see what we say. Obviously, they do because a lot of them are in the Facebook groups.
Yep.
They see stuff on Twitter. They see stuff on Instagram. So there's that.
Yeah.
So, yep. But yeah, the way that Manish delivered that line, I laughed so hard. It was like, that's it right there. Cain didn't come out of Satan's head, but you want him to. But obviously, backstory on Cain. Obviously, they probably planned for this to be an arc that we never got.
Yep. Hopefully, we get to. I've always thought that there's more to Cain than just being the bad guy. A lot of people thought otherwise. But I was saying he's an ass. I'm not debating that he was an ass, but I never thought that he was all bad. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I saw it with Jessica's accident where he was fighting for her. People were thinking, oh, it's because he was money hungry. And I'm sitting there going, he's a neurosurgeon. Like, of all the doctors there, he should have known that all the people, everybody should have listened to him more because none of the other doctors were neurosurgeons. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, Cain has this thing where no one dies in his OR, and we're going to get to it in just a moment. But, usually...
With Justine and stuff.
Yeah, with Justine and stuff. But, with Jessica, even he was, that was the last thing he wanted to have happen. Because I have a feeling if Jessica had died, not only would there be a war with the fandom here, because she's so beloved, Irving would have had Cain's neck.
Yeah, Irving would have, literally choked him.
Yeah. But, yeah, obviously, we're going to need more stuff on Cain, and I hope when we get season 4 that we get the rest of this arc. That we get Cain dealing with all this, and we actually see him have emotions.
Yeah.
So that's my hope. And Morris is so good that I do believe he'll be able to just bring it.
Yeah.
So, but speaking of the no dying in the OR scenario, Justine obviously dies in this episode. And the one of his resident, what did she say? I thought there were no deaths in your OR or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, for her to say that means he's drilled this into her mind. He said this a lot.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, okay. So yeah, she was crying almost. Like, the death was worried more for her than the fact that this woman who was connected to Cain died. Like, the fact that she died worried her more than the fact that it was who it was.
Yeah.
I was just like, wow. That's no one should die, but wow. Cain was like, no, this is... He was crying over her dying, not the fact that he had a death.
Yeah. Cain is... I would have liked to see those two try and work it out. You know, like Justine have survived, and like Cain and Justine have a second chance or whatever. It's because I saw that they both still cared for each other, and there's still feelings there or whatever. But
yeah, I would have loved to, if she had survived this, I would have loved to have seen them pursue some type of romantic arc for Cain. You know, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mina is obviously jealous. She's like, I haven't even got to meet these people yet. What?
I know. Well, I mean, like, that's his girlfriend. You shut him down on that one. So, like, obviously she hasn't yet met him. But it feels like, wow, he's getting really serious with this girl. You know what I mean? You don't introduce just a hookup to your mama.
Nope. But 45 years, I want to see his parents again. His adopted parents.
I know, they're so cute.
Yeah. Maybe his bio family, but I want to see more development there first. But the adopted family, yeah, I definitely want to see more of them.
Yep.
So that's
Michael Chow and Denise Stiles.
Yeah. But obviously with Miguel, who's the other patient in this episode, he's a former salsa dancer.
Champion. Champion.
Yeah, champion. Yeah, see, he is a champion salsa dancer for like 2 years, and then he went second place for another, and he was like, I was robbed. Love it. But the fact is, he obviously had a heart issue and had to have this device put in. So
yeah,
I had to ask myself, how would someone who dances all the time, teaches it, lives it, get a heart issue? But it can happen. So
yep.
But they do an ablation on him, and I love their conversation during it. I love how Mina and AJ work together. It's just so smooth. And it's the chemistry between Jeanette and Malcolm that it's just so smooth.
Yeah, the chemistry is like off the wall.
Yeah. But, Mina's obviously, she sees AJ showing Miguel that he can still dance. And she's like, wow. And
they watch him through the door or whatever.
There's a video you posted. Is it?
Yes. It's from the actual choreographers who worked with Malcolm on that short sequence of salsa dancing or whatever.
So, yeah, check out her Instagram, the Resident on Fox fans, and there's a video of Malcolm getting trained to do that short little sequence. That's in the episode.
It's so cute! Oh my god, Malcolm is so cute. He was so serious trying to learn the steps and stuff. Even the hand movements.
But yeah, obviously Mina's jealous of Andrea. And when Andrea was first, like, you know, brought on, like, I never thought she would become a love interest for AJ. Like, that's not where I thought this was going. Like, she was Belle's business partner.
Yeah.
You know, I never thought that this is where this was going. So, obviously...
I wonder how that business, though, is doing now after their, you know, mini crisis. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so hopefully maybe this will be brought back up in season 4. Obviously, Andrea's going to be around because she's with AJ.
Yeah.
So, there's that. But I love that Mina was comfortable enough to ask AJ to be her +1.
I like Mina and AJ. Like,
I do too.
Seriously, can we, like, get them together already? I'm tired of this.
The writers think it's fun, but it's not.
It's torture. We've had this for 3 seasons. We've been begging for it for 3 seasons. Listen to the viewers. We want Minotaur.
Like, I mean, every time you see an interview about Minotaur, like, especially from Todd, he's like, it's so much fun to write this push and this pull, and I'm like, yeah, it's not fun to watch anymore.
It's, like, we don't want any more push and pull. We want freaking get it on already.
I mean, the fact that she dreamed back in the Halloween episode, that's 3-4 belief system. Back in that episode, she dreamed she kissed AJ, and you didn't know it was a dream at first, and you're like, what?
I was like, hello, hey, I like it. It was hot. That, like, 2-second kiss was hot. No offense to comic fans, but seriously, that 2-second kiss was hotter than some of
the hot. Yeah, I'll admit. See, and the only reason we're not devoting anything to Connick because there was none in this episode.
No, they were there individually, like they had their own storylines, but not together.
Yeah, and to be honest, both Conrad and Nick were really kind of in the background.
Yeah.
This episode, they really weren't in the forefront of things. Like, Conrad was helping Kat, Nick was helping Cain, but for the most part, it really just, they were kind of a background scenario.
Yep. They didn't have, like, their storyline, really.
You know, Conrad does have a little bit of a storyline with Marshall. We're gonna get to that.
Yeah, this is where I think, last week when we were saying that they were kind of copying and pasting certain scenes that would have been in the last 3 episodes.
Yeah.
I feel like the last 10 minutes or so of the episode is the copying and pasting, because it was so disjointed with the rest of the episode. It was like, wait, where did Marshall come from? Why is Conrad drinking with him? Did I miss the conversation? What conversation are they referring to? You know what I mean? Because they were referring to conversation, right?
I honestly think there was supposed to be more, because there's a promotional photo that came out with the regular photos, and Marshall's in a robe, and he's at Chastain, and Conrad's obviously done type of test or something, maybe for his Crohn's or something, and they talk. So obviously there was another conversation that they cut from the episode.
Yeah. So like I said, it's that last week when we were talking about how they copied and pasted certain scenes, I feel like that's what they were saying. That's what they were referencing, those last 10 minutes or whatever. Because we're all like, wait, what? Who leaked about getting the Oars? Where did Marshall come in? What conversation are you guys talking about?
Yeah, I think the leak was actually, in my opinion, it's either Conrad or it's Cain.
Yeah.
It's one of the two.
Yeah.
Because Cain wanted to, reveal it.
Yeah.
And then Conrad's known to be a whistleblower. So, I don't know. It's one of the two.
Could be Kit, too.
Could be Kit.
Her family.
Could be Kit, yep.
Because, her family was the one who was put in danger of that thing. So
it
but
could be,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, that whole last 10 minutes was just like so disjointed to the rest of the episode. You know what I mean? Like last that we saw, Cain was in the OR getting emotional over Justine's dead body. Then the next thing we know, he's walking into Kim's office, and I'm like, wait, huh? What? Where did that come from? How many days passed between Justine's surgery to him going to the office? Who leaked? What happened? You know what I mean?
I think they were trying to give us some type of closure.
Yeah.
But it just
gave more questions than answers.
Yeah, it really did. But the scene with Marshall in the episode, the one thing, and we've both posted about this quote where Marshall tells Conrad, never lose sight of your ideals, because once that happens, the steps aren't many to the dark side.
Yep.
Obviously, Marshall knows. He's been there.
Yep.
So,
as a businessman and stuff.
Yep. So, Conrad obviously is gonna take that. I sure hope he takes the advice of his father. I love the fact that they have a relationship now. I love the fact that he is trusting of his father enough to say, maybe I should heed this advice. I hope that this leads into more Marshall appearances when we get to the next season. Because I honestly want him in the show a lot more.
Yeah. I like Glenn. He's a really good actor. The actors on the show are really good. I don't, even the guest stars, they're like, I don't think I've ever seen like a bad actor, quote unquote, on the show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, I'd be okay with Glenn coming back to the main cast. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Then there's the final scene, the cliffhanger. Not really much of one, but it is one. Kim's offer that he gave Conrad, and he pretty much says, Conrad, you want to be the new poster boy? Honestly, there's pros and cons. A lot of people don't want Conrad to do it. Honestly, just because Kim gave the offer. I really do believe that.
Well, what do you think he's going to say? Of course, we're not going to find out till season 4 if we have season 4. But do you think Conrad will take the offer?
I think he will. And only because he could use it to his advantage to get leverage to get Kim out.
Mm.
He could, obviously they could either have Marshall's help, or Belle's not even really involved anymore, but the board might listen to Belle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he has a strong relationship probably with the board members.
Yeah, so I would love to see, like I said last week, I'd love to see Belle back at the top, but Kim wants to exploit Conrad being a war hero, Conrad being the doctor for Georgia FC, all this stuff, him being a whistleblower. And I'm like, when did you want this, Kim?
When did you like him being a whistleblower? When did that happen? Well, I mean, for me, it's like, one positive about him maybe taking the offer is because you've been advocating for it. We'll be able to delve into his past as a soldier, Mm-hmm. Wasn't he in the Marine or something?
He was a Navy corpsman.
Yeah. So we'd be able to delve into
the Marine,
that
they said he was a medic, a war medic, but the Marines or the Army or whatever, they use the Navy or whatever. I don't know how to explain it any more than that, but they fixed it in the 3rd season or something. Yeah, but he was a Navy corpsman.
He has a tattoo on his chest. I think that was a Marine tattoo.
Yeah.
Or what?
I don't know how to explain it. Someone who knows military stuff better than me, I would love for them to explain this. I read something where someone explained it, but I really need a better explanation than the one I'm capable of giving. But all I know is they originally messed it up.
Yes. And a lot of military members kind of got mad about it. But yeah, either way, would like, if they're gonna like exploit his war hero or whatever, I guess the positive is that we're gonna get that storyline, because I feel like it's been dropped since Jude left.
Yes, since season 1. So
Yeah.
I have to, because whatever Conrad decides, obviously there'll be more of a plot line if he says yes.
Yes.
Like last year when we didn't know whether it was Kyle or Jesse, and
Who died?
Yeah, but you obviously they went with Jesse here, and they did a good job with the storyline. But I think Jesse's storyline obviously gave them more plot.
Yep.
That's kind of where I'm going with this, is they're able to draw more plotline for Conrad. So, that's my opinion. Like I said before, I really think Jane and Morris, probably one of them, should get some type of award nomination for this. It was really good. Like, their acting was just amazing.
Yep.
Award-worthy performances. So, before we sign off, there's some few things we want to mention in terms of following and how to contact us and stuff. Subscribing to the podcast, that way you don't have to wonder when the next podcast comes out. By the way, every Monday. SoundCloud, there's a little subscribe button at the top of the page. You can't miss it. But it's SoundCloud, the Resident Rulebreakers. You can just search it and it pops it right up. Apple Podcasts, same thing. You can just search the Resident Rulebreakers and it should populate. Same thing on Google Play. Same thing with YouTube. There's a YouTube channel and it seriously pops right up. I've done it multiple times, so I know. And I do have an announcement. We're on Spotify, so people who like Spotify, they have podcasts and stuff, and they can download them. So the other stuff I have it set so you can't really download it. But Spotify will allow it, so they can take them wherever they go. So Spotify, and I will add a link. So subscribe. We like to see you push the little subscribe button, because it lets you know that there's a new podcast. You can email us. You have a episode you want us to talk about. You have a plotline, a character, a relationship question. I don't know.
Please don't stop yourself from contacting us. We could. It is kind of boring to just throw ideas at each other, like, let's talk about this, or let's talk about that. We'd like to hear from our listeners as to what you'd like to hear from us.
Yeah. So, the Resident Rulebreakers at gmail.com. There's an email, and I have it's in my phone. It literally comes in with the rest of my emails.
Yeah.
So, have access to that. Follow Camille on Instagram, the Resident on Fox Fans. She posts a lot of really cool stuff over there. The Facebook group, the Resident Fox Fans. If you're not in it already, answer all the questions. You won't be let in otherwise.
Yes.
And then Twitter, which is at Resident Podcast. I only post when there's a new podcast, and that's it. No questions on that. Next week's podcast is going to be about 109, which is episode called Lost Love, written by Amy Holden Jones. And grab your tissues, because it is the episode you think it is. It's the episode Lily dies. So, grab your tissues and prepare for next week, because I know I will.
Yep. It's been a while since I saw that episode.
Yeah.
About 2 years.
Amy posted a monitor shot of Matt from that episode, and I was just like, oh crap, don't make me cry.
The CPR scene was hard to watch.
But we will get into more detail about that next week. So, until next Monday, my name is Kayla.
And I'm Camille.
Talk to you later.
Bye.